Hello and welcome back to the third week of this Frosthaven campaign. We are investigating some crabs to the north of town, up at the edge of the world. Quite evocatively named location. And our team of Xenia Zephyr, sorry, there you go. Xenia Zephyr, Muckduck the Drifter, XCOM, an Easter Bone Shaper, and Achilles Tamir have cleared out the first hallway, and now we have a decent amount of walking to do just to get to this door, at which point we'll have to do a bunch more walking, and then we have some sort of boss fight type of thing in here. The big story in this mission is every character has a quest which they have to complete to retire. I actually read the rules on this, and every retirement gets you a building in town. So I can confirm that I have worked out that doing this does something. Don't know what the buildings are. I'm looking forward to finding out. Anyway, Achilles Tamir has already killed 2 Algox guards prior to this mission, and just in the first room of this mission killed 2 Lurker Claw Crushers. So I am 2 robotic bolt shooters away from retiring a character for the first time I ever have in Frosthaven. Presumably somebody else has done it, at least once. The game's been out for a while at this point. Anyway, it looks like it's about to be round 8. It took a little while to clear out 6 enemies in this room. I have already selected some cards. We're just walking for the most part, so let's do that. Also, I think I'll move the picture-in-picture. Probably. Seems like we want to be down here now. First thing that happens in my Bone Shaper's turn is my Bone Shaper's Wraith moves. You know what? I'll put it there. And then my Bone Shaper is going to move with Malicious Conversion 1, 2, 3, and summon a skeleton with Life and Death. We are ready to head through the door shortly. I remember summoning another skeleton, 100%, so I must have 4 experience right now. I will sometimes forget to mark experience down, and I'll try to catch it when I can, but probably won't always. Next up is Xenia Zephyr, the Banner Spear, who's going to move forward with Combined Effort, which gives me moves of 2 for 2 allies within 2 range. I'll move you, and I might as well move you as well. And then I'm going to use the top half of At All Costs, which will give me an experience and heal all of my allies for 3, full health, 5 out of 6, and then I take 2 damage for everyone who was healed from that. So I am down to 3, which is a little bit spooky, but we're doing okay. Our Deathwalker, Achilles Tamir, arguably the main character of the mission. We're going to move 3 with Call of Doom so that we also channel Dark. I might go through the door next turn, but I kind of doubt it. Having the Dark could be useful for healing somebody more or something like that. I don't know. I have a variety of ways that my squad interacts with Dark. And then we have Violent Inheritance, top half of this card, with Muckduck, which lets us loot a loot pouch here. Ooh, a Snow Thistle. Okay, cool. I feel like I already got 3 potion ingredients. I definitely got this axe nut. I think I might have gotten a Snow Thistle as well. I've noticed loot decks tend to have 3 potion ingredients in them. I don't know if every single one does. I would be kind of surprised if every single one did, but definitely it is a thing I have seen happen in all of the missions so far. So I might have already gotten all of those. Okay, that is going to be the end of round 8, nice easy one, and I will work out cards for round 9. Alright, round 9 is going to be bloodless again. Not going to open the door quite yet. I'm a little bit concerned that we are all the way to round 9 here and still haven't gotten through the door, but it should hopefully be okay. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to play the top half of this for fire or not. Banner Spear is done. Deathwalker is just moving. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to play the top half of this for dark or not. You know what? I'm going to read the rules. Let's find out. I believe that the rules here are anything within a box with an exclamation mark must be done if I'm playing the top half of Fluid Knight, but the rest of it is unnecessary. So I must gain 1 experience, I must channel dark, but I do not have to do an attack for 5 as if I'm occupying a hex with a shadow and then remove the shadow. If I'm wrong, you can let me know, but that is my belief upon reading some rules. All right, we have a drifter. I can either heal you for 2. No, I'm going to move instead. I'm going to move with the bottom half of Prudent Preparation. And then with the top half of Continuous Health, I will move, I think, a token on Relentless back 1. Relentless has been doing pretty well against all of the shield in this mission. And with my Bone Shaper, I'm going to be using the bottom half of Transfer of Essence to heal 5 here. And take 2 damage. Oh, and this channel's dark anyway. And then I'm going to use the top half of Flow of the Black River to heal myself for 3. I also get to move the Wraith towards my Bone Shaper. If I feel so inclined. That feels like it's a long way away. Well, it'll catch up, maybe. I don't know. I just used the card that helps it catch up. So, is that true? My Banner Spear can move it, perhaps. I think next turn, it will be time to go through the door. So, exciting moments. Hopefully that'll turn out okay for us. I am in service of getting through this door. Going to want a short rest on my Deathwalker. Ooh, Anger of the Dead's kind of nice. I think I will lose it, but that's a good card with all the enemies having shields in this scenario, it seems like. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them so far. Okay, my Banner Spear is going to long rest, which is a bit weird on a turn I'm opening a door, but I need to get all my cards back, and I have this ability now where if I long rest, I get to move my banner further up the corridor, and the rest of the team is going to open a door. I've just realized I have to actually choose the cards that my Deathwalker is using. My thought was Forceful Spirits, and probably I'm down for the bottom half of Eclipse to get a move for 4. So I can move in, use Forceful Spirits to make 2 attacks, and then just move out again. It's going to be the idea. My Drifter is maybe moving into the room and moving out again as well. Anyway, let's see how this goes. I'm using the bottom half of Sustained Momentum to move. So I have Draining Arrows available if I need to give a bunch of enemies a disadvantage on attacks against me. And I'm going to start this turn by using the bottom half of Sustained Momentum and opening up this door. This is 1 move, so I still have 1 move remaining. Yeah, those are too far away for me to hit them with anybody. Although they might get a move after my Drifter. So 3 Lurker Soldiers and 3 Lurker Mind Snippers. A Mind Snipper, regular Mind Snipper has 2 targets, 3 pierce, 3 move, 3 attack. And an Elite Mind Snipper has 3 move, 4 attack, and 4 pierce, 2 targets, and muddles. So yeah, this is not a mission where having shield does anything, is a thing that I'm noticing. Let's draw a card for the Mind Snippers and draw a card for the Soldiers. No Claw Crushers in this room, so I'm glad that I got the 2 kills with my Deathwalker already. Okay, they are actually going really early in the turn. The Mind Snippers are going to retaliate 3 at 3 range. They are going to consume my Darkness. That's kind of rude. And they're going to muddle everything within 3 range. But they're not going to move, so they're just over here doing nothing, basically. The Lurker Soldiers are also not going to move. They're going to wound everything within 1 range, and they are going to get +1 shield. So the regular ones don't have any base shield, but the elite does have 1 starting shield as well. They move kind of fast, don't they? Huh. Alright, well, I guess there's no reason to move back into the room, seeing as though none of the enemies are moving toward me here. So my Drifter will just move here, and unfortunately Mukduk is very much out of range with draining arrows, so that looks to be all I'm going to be doing. The enemies are actually done. I guess they consume darkness. Drifter's done. Deathwalker. So I have this move for 4. So I can move up 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I can attack for 2. I don't have darkness anymore. It just doesn't seem that good, does it? I think what I'm going to do is use Eclipse in this room. So I'm going to move here with the bottom half of Forceful Spirits, and I'm going to burn the top half of Eclipse. This goes in my Lost Cards pile. A little bit painful. I've lost 3 cards with the Deathwalker now and rested twice, I think. So I'm starting to get kind of low on cards. But I've got a little bit of experience under my belt with these 4 character classes at this point, and in missions where it's okay for your characters to exhaust, I find that it's not that uncommon for my Deathwalker to exhaust first. We just have some pretty powerful sustained powers, and then some pretty powerful cards we want to lose. I don't know. You can get a lot of extra speed out of your Deathwalker if you're willing to exhaust cards, has been my finding with the character, I guess. You know, I forgot that my Bone Shaper is not allowed to use the basic action of any cards, which means I can't move for the next 2 turns with them. Well, my Wraith's coming here, my Skeleton's coming here, and maybe that's it? I mean, we're too far away to do anything, aren't we? Alright, and then we get a long rest with our Banner Spear, who is... This will be down to a 7-card hand. Still workable, though. Let me work out what I want to lose. I think with so much shield on the enemies, and hopefully not as many turns left in the mission, I'm just going to lose Incendiary Throw. It just seems like there's definitely a possibility that I fail to inflict damage with it, so there's no wound to begin with, and even if I do get a wound, I'm not sure how long the enemies are going to be alive for me to take advantage of that. So, we heal for 2 when we rest, and we get to move an ally to tiles, which is nice for keeping this banner moving forward. And I think the +1 damage on the banner is, like, potentially a pretty big deal against enemies with substantial amounts of health and shield. 13 health, 10 health, and shield, 10 health. All these ones don't have base shield, only when their intent has shield in it. Okay, cool. That's the end of round 10. Hopefully I can start doing some actual damage on round 11. My hands are running a little low in round 11. I'll admit, I'm getting like a bit concerned about how many cards I have left just to get through this much HP of enemy. I am playing at +2 difficulty, so the balance on some of these missions is going to feel weighted against me. And it will not be the error of the game designer. It will be because I chose for it to. I think we should be okay, though. Hopefully, maybe. The Lurker soldiers are not moving again. And the Lurker Mind Snippers will make a move this time. They will move up. How much movement do they have? 3 and range of 2 on these attacks. So they're not going to get into range for any attacks. They are going to move up. The attacks are disarming on that one. Okay, so there's going to be a big clump of them here. I am a little bit regretting my choice not to keep Incendiary Throw, because it feels like it would deal 20 damage right now. But I think I just kind of slightly overvalue Incendiary Throw in these sorts of situations. The enemies do die pretty quickly once we start dealing damage to them, which I am going to attempt to do now. I have a Deepening Despair here. I think this is my... Is this my first time playing the top half of the card, or did I do it last episode? I don't remember. But I can hit something pretty hard. I can choose this Lurker Soldier or the Elite Lurker Soldier. Alternately, I could use Lingering Rot. Lingering Rot, top half, is very strong here, I would say. It is an excellent moment for it. However, if I burn another card, 5... I only have 6 cards right now. I would be burning down to 5 cards total. And Lingering Rot burns when used. So that might unfortunately be a bit much for me to be doing. I think I will, yeah, just use Deepening Despair. Does anybody need an element for any reason? Doesn't look like it. Okay. So I'll use Deepening Despair to attack for 4. I'm going to start on the non-elite enemy first. Got a +1 on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rechannels Darkness. And then I also have a move. These are attacking the things next to each other. These are attacking at 2 range. So I can move here and still not get attacked back and get out of the way a little bit for the rest of the team coming through. Wrecker Soldiers are wounding everything within 1 range of them and giving themselves 1 shield again. And then the Mind Snippers are going to come in. So first the Elite will go. There's a trap here, but hard to see. But that is a Poison Trap, which deals 5 damage and poisons us. Or them, if I happen to move them into it somehow. I'm very bad at like pushing enemies with this team, though. I feel like in Gloomhaven, a lot of my characters could push enemies, whereas in Frosthaven, that's a much less common ability, at least at this point in the campaign. Anyway, the Elite's going to have to walk around this impossible tile. That's the Elite done, and then number 3 is going to walk as close as it can get to a tile it can attack from. It has a ranged attack of 2, so the closest tiles are this one and this one. This is 3 away from that one. This is 3 away from that one. Basically, any of these 3 tiles are equidistant. And all of, yeah. So I can choose any of these 3 tiles for it. I will choose, for whatever reason, this one feels better to me. I'm not entirely sure why. And then Lurker and Mind Snipper number 5 is going to wander up here. The Wave of Anguish, is that what it's called? The AoE Deathwalker attack looks even better than it did the last time I mentioned that it looked really good. Just keeps on getting better and better and better. All right, these ones do not have shield, and now the enemies have completely finished their turn. So that's actually kind of awkward because Fortitude is my attack with Pierce. Still though, that's okay. I'm gonna wander up here with Muck Duck the Drifter. I'm using the bottom half of Vile Assault to move, but I'm not healing, so it's just a regular move, I guess. And then I'm using Fortitude for an attack for 5, thanks to Crushing Weight, which hits for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, these are a little bit squishy. Yeah, these are the ranged units. They are not meant to be frontlining like they are right now. The AI has done a bit of a boo-boo, maybe. I set myself up to be able to at all costs because I thought, you know, probably my friends take some damage here. It turns out my friends just didn't take any damage. So, good for them. I'm going to move my Banner Spear first. We're using Combined Effort to keep everything moving forward. If I can mouse over my Banner Spear, that would be nice. And then I guess I'm moving my Wraith. So my Wraith can get an attack in. And my Banner of Strength. Maybe Okay, this is the other option. What's my Bone Shaper doing? Cursing and giving an extra attack. I honestly feel like my Wraith might be more valuable than that. I don't know, 1 curse versus more damage on this Mind Snapper. It's at 2 health. Let's do another attack on this Mind Snapper instead. Alright, which means my Bone Shaper is just stuck here doing literally nothing unless I give up on a 2 checkmark combat goal. My perks are... An interesting thing about these battle goal checkmarks is once you fill up 18 of them, you actually don't get anything from them anymore. And I think this retirement quest is a slow one. I think it takes a long time to get 5 different herbs from missions. There are 6 different herbs total. Like, it's just pretty hard to find all of them with 1 character. Anytime you're on a mission with 3 herbs and you pick up like 4 loot, you have a 1 in 5 chance of getting each one of them. It's probably somewhere in the vicinity of like 15 to 20 missions if I'm looting 4 on every mission. Would be my like eyeball of that statistically, but I guess I'm not 100% sure. That is an eyeball for sure. It's not a confident guess. Anyway, given that my Bone Shaper is going to be around a while, I could wait on this. Oh, there's actually another option. I could use my Translocation Rod. Designate any 2 allies or any 2 normal or elite monsters. Can I use that? I can't move myself with that. I could use the banner. Maybe instead of doing all this work to move my banner spear forward with the banner, I should have just used Translocation Rod and I could have like left it here and probably been through here like a turn faster. Like I'd move my... I don't know. I like move my Deathwalker all this way and then I translocate the Deathwalker and the banner and then I use the card that lets my Deathwalker teleport to a shadow or something like that. It's a pretty cool way to move the banner, but it's giving up a bit maybe to the point where it's just not actually worth doing. I'm not sure. It is my Bone Shaper's turn. The first thing that happens on my Bone Shaper's turn is my Wraith moves. I'm going to move it to here and make this attack. The Lurker Soldiers have lower initiative than the Mind Snippers, so actually I'm not. I'm going to move it to here and make an attack on this. My bad. +0 hits for 1. My Skeleton will move up and do nothing, and then even though like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this curse has range 5, I am not able to see through a wall, so that doesn't work. Bottom half of Damned Horde doesn't work. I can use the top half of Damned Horde and make another skeleton, and I guess that's what I'll do. Will it reach the enemy? I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. We've at least touched base with the enemies here. We'll see what happens in round 12 when presumably they actually attack me. I'm going to need rests on both my Drifter and my Bone Shaper, and I think in this scenario, they're both healthy. I guess my Bone Shaper's not at full health anymore, but they're both healthy, and they both have all of their equipment available. So I think a short rest is kind of the only sensible option for either of them. Sustained momentum is fine to be losing. I do have 1 card in hand here still, so we have 4 turns before our next rest with my Drifter, as long as we don't take a bunch of damage. And then I can, hold on, I can dismiss the skeleton that I just summoned if I want. And the goal of doing that would be to have 4 turns before I had to rest again. I need to gain an experience for summoning it. Unfortunately, if I do that, basically I just took 2 damage for no reason. But I think it's correct I think I just took 2 damage for no reason. Unlucky. Losing Returned Servant, which is one of my move 4s. I've already lost my other move 4. I think I have to reroll that, unfortunately. And I've lost Malicious Conversion, which is another one of my move cards. Still. Should be okay, I hope. Alright, let me work out my cards to play. My initiative this turn is definitely a bit slower than I would like it to be, especially since these enemies have shown that they can move very early in the turn order. That said, if I do get some moves off, hopefully this will be okay. We'll have to see what happens though. Let's hit start round. By the way, I got to mark this for death when my Deathwalker attacked it. All right, start the round. New round started, all initiative cards revealed. The Lurker soldiers are moving, and then they are attacking, and they attack one enemy with all of their attacks. So they attack twice. Hold on, I should read what this card actually says. Focus strikes, they move, they attack one enemy with all attacks. Am I to interpret that as they attack one enemy twice? I think so. I think that's what I meant to understand that to mean. And then the Mind Snippers are turning the weak. Control all targets of the attack ability in initiative order. Attack for 3. So Mind Snippers have 2 attacks. These are going to move. And they are going to attack my people within 3 range. And control my people to make attacks on... This is fascinating. What happens if their target isn't next to any of my units? Does my Drifter attack them? I don't think so. No, I think my interpretation of this is that if my Drifter moves to here, for example, then when my Drifter gets hit by these attacks, I will not be making any attacks because I'm not in melee range of anything. So probably this is okay because my Drifter moves up and the attacks are for -2, so the attacks themselves don't deal too much damage. Ugh, there's a bit of damage here for sure. Especially since the soldiers are using focus strikes. Oof. But hopefully, like, one of the soldiers is dead already. Okay, anyway. The enemies are making, like, something like, what, 18 potential attacks this turn? Because this has 3 attacks on it. Mind Snippers attack 2 targets, and this makes their target also make a melee attack after it is attacked. So we've gone from the enemies attacking 0 times to the enemies attacking 0 times to the enemies attacking 18 times. I don't think running away is an option because I will like run out of cards. Also, both of the enemies are also moving forward, so unclear that I even can run away. However, it sure would be nice to be able to right now. My Banner Spear was going to move the Banner of Strength in and move the Bone Shaper in. Just make sure that that makes sense. My Bone Shaper is using Decaying Will and Transfer of Essence. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think what I can actually do is I can move my Drifter here. And then my Drifter is just going to kill the skeleton, and then these attacks will only have 1 target, and my Drifter won't be able to attack anyone else. So this is a situation where like having the Drifter out in front of everyone by 1 tile is actually a really big deal. I think in general against all of these enemies, because they have so many attacks which target, like they're like melee range and targeting multiple things. They're very they're very individual in how I want to fight against them. I want to have one tank out in front of the rest of the party. Using shield to keep that tank alive isn't the most effective way to do it. I need like ways to dodge enemy attacks entirely or just a large health pool with healing. Yeah. Fascinating. I can also use the top half of deflecting maneuver to give all targets against my banner spear this round disadvantage. I will do that because there is actually the possibility that it matters. How it would matter is if my drifter just takes a ton of damage and then my bone shaper can actually translate where these are with the item that I have. So I could switch my drifter and my banner spear at that point and have the banner spear out in front instead. It's going to be a really interesting turn depending on what their attacks do. This is 6 health. This is 2 health. My Deathwalker is planning to use Call of Doom, which is going to AoE everything. So I think my plan with my drifter is I wanted to move. I guess I don't actually have to move if I don't care about the skeleton. I guess that's actually fine. Okay, so we start with the bottom half of Bloodletting, which is an attack for 1, which is actually an attack for 3. And kills a Mind Snipper. And then I'll use Draining Arrows. Top half of Draining Arrows. I can only hit 2 targets from this range, but that's okay. These all have Pierce, right? Pierce, 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 Pierce. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Just thinking. I could use the Protective Scepter, but it doesn't seem like it does anything. Okay, so we have 1 attack here. I will use the +1 from Banner of Strength at this enemy. I think I'm actually going to start with that. Oh, it's a -2. Well, I deal 0 damage to it, but do confuse it. it's I understand why it's confused. And then I will hit this one for +1 damage. So it has 1 shield, but 1 + 1 is 2. Takes 1 damage and is also confused. My Drifter's turn done. Now, I did leave myself the option with my Deathwalker to use Fluid Knight instead of Call of Doom. And it's kind of feeling like that's better. If I hit a +1 on this, I can kill it before it moves. And killing it before it moves, like, these are about to murder me. These are about to deal a lot of damage to me, aren't they? Okay, only 2 of them can actually get in, though. This is Lurker Soldier 6, and this is Lurker Soldier 3. So Lurker Soldier 5 is coming here and attacking Drifter twice, and then Lurker Soldier 3 is coming here and attacking Drifter twice. This Lurker Soldier is actually not doing anything right now. So I guess what I'll do is I'll consume Dark, and I'll use Call of Doom, and we'll just AoE here and confuse all of our new friends. I'll start with Lurker Soldier 6. I don't get +1 from the banner because I'm attacking as though I was on this tile. 2 damage to that. Lurker Soldier 3. Ooh, 3 damage to that. 1, 2, 3. I feel like the game is, I might need to restart it. It's kind of slowing down a bit more than usual. Crit miss on the Lurker with shield, but honestly, I was not expecting to deal a lot of damage to that anyway. Okay, that is... Unless I want to move as well. No, I don't think so. I think that's my Deathwalker's turn. So now we get some enemies moving. And we start with the Elite Lurker Soldier, which is going to move here, and it's going to attack for 4 damage with 2 Pierce, which doesn't matter, against my Drifter twice. It does have disadvantage, so we'll draw twice. It's a -1 modifier, but still hits for 3. 1, 2, 3. It takes 2 retaliation. We are probably going to run out of this card very soon, aren't we? Then it attacks again. +0, so that's 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ouch. If I remember right, I do have some curses in the monster deck. Next up is Lurker Soldier 3, which goes here. And again is attack my Drifter, who is the first in the initiative order. Crit or -1? Yeah, I'll take the -1. So my Drifter's on 1 health. And another retaliate. And the last one, +1 or +0. I have to burn a card. How many curses are in this deck? There are only 21 cards. Okay, so there's only 1 curse in there, actually. I thought there were more. Looking at cards I can burn, I'll just lose Violent Inheritance. It's not an incredible card. Like, it's only really great if we're using the bottom half of it, and that requires us to lose it, so just do it like this. The thing I don't love about switching my Drifter and my Banner Spear, which I'm going to have to do now, as this Lurker Soldier will not be able to find a path to an enemy to attack, and now it's my Bone Shaper's turn. The thing that I don't love about it is my Drifter doesn't have any, like, movement cards, really. I guess I have this one. I guess I'm not going that far away. I'll be able to get back into the thick of things. All right. Fair enough. The first thing that happens in my Bone Shaper's turn is the Wraith moves. And it's going to attack this Lurker Soldier. -1, but it is within range of the banner. Next, Shambling Skeleton 1 goes. Why are they both called Shambling Skeleton 1? That's not useful. +0. It is also within range of the banner. And then Shambling Skeleton also 1 goes. Thank you, Shambling Skeleton also 1. Now we get some sort of Bone Shaper turn. I guess another option is I can just transfer of essence on my Drifter, actually. Maybe I'd rather do that. Gives it 6 health. These are attacking twice at range 2, if I remember right. Oh, range 3. So if the first one hits my Drifter and control all targets of the attack ability in initiative order to attack for 3. The second one can move here, at which point it will attack my Drifter and my, like, Deathwalker, perhaps. Which does feel a little iffy. They move 3, 3. It'd be funny to, after having moved the banner all this way and done all that work, to just teleport it here so that it and the Drifter kind of like finish the turn. It's complicated to understand what's happening here. This is going to move up. It wants to get 2 targets, so we'll go to here. It will first attack my Drifter. The Drifter will probably kill the Shambling Skeleton because the attack for 3 is going to be +2 to 5. So probably the skeleton just dies, and then it doesn't make a second attack. Then this one moves up and attacks my Drifter. My Drifter can't attack anything else. And attacks... oh, whichever one I want, I guess. So let's say it attacks my Deathwalker. Then my Deathwalker goes. My Deathwalker is going to attack as though it was AI controlled, so it will split initiative order to attack this Wraith. It's a bit rude, but I'm not feeling like it's the end of the world. It's only an attack for 2. And my Wraith has 2 shield, and I also have these Warden's Robes to keep the Wraith alive, which I have been struggling desperately to find a reason to use. So I don't think I care much about this, I guess is what I'm saying. My Deathwalker is going to have to short rest. And then what it looks like is I have attack on 5 enemies with Wave of Anguish if I burn it. And I think at some point it's just gotta be worth it to burn Wave of Anguish, right? Like, that just feels like it's way too good not to do. So, next turn, the plan is going to be to, like, this may die to that. This will almost certainly die to that. This one won't. This one won't. This one won't. But it also poisons them all, so that makes it easier to finish killing them. I guess the reason that I'm having to think all the way through all of this right now is, well, twofold. One, I want to know if I'm teleporting my Banner Spear in. And two, I want to know who I'm hitting with Decaying Will. It doesn't seem important to get the last hit on this Lurker Soldier. It seems more important to set this Lurker Soldier up to make sure that it dies next time it gets hit to me. So I think I'm going to Decaying Will this Lurker Soldier. It's a crit. It hits for 4. Wait, it's dead. Oh, okay. It's 1 damage plus 1 from the banner is 2 times 2 is 4. Well done. That lets me make a shadow somewhere. Can I, like, consume all of these shadows once during each of your move or attack abilities? Once during each of your move or attack abilities. So if we look at, it's called Lingering Rot is the name of the card. Okay. What have I been calling it this entire time? Wave of Anguish, I think. Yeah, I'm sorry. Lingering Rot. If we look at Lingering Rot, that is only 1 attack ability. So I could only consume a shadow to make this deal 2 more damage on 1 of those attacks. Still potentially pretty good. There are 3 cards, about to be 5 cards there with 1 card in hand, so I'd be going down to 4 cards left, and we're not even at the final room yet. Whew. Fortunately, like, my Bone Shaper at least has a lot of cards. The other thing I'm going to do is transfer Essence to my Drifter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. I'm on 1 HP. And we channel Dark. And it's my Bone Shaper's turn. And then the Mind Snippers go. All right, let's see if what I thought would happen actually happens. The Elite goes first. That only healed me for... Oh, it did heal me for 5. Okay. Looked like a 5 from, like, the way that the text was being displayed or whatever. Lurker goes first. Lurker Mind Snipper. It's attacking my Drifter first. It's a -2 attack and minus another one, so that only hits for 1. And then it attacks my Shambling Skeleton, killing it instantly. When I do that, does the card discard? Where'd the card go? Dear viewer. Oh, didn't I discard this? I think I discarded that when I rested and never got rid of the skeleton. Cheats. Okay, so this card discards. That is fine. And then when my Drifter makes an attack, my question is, do I attack the enemy? I don't think so. Let me check and make 100% sure, though. Yeah, absolutely not. Also, though, lurking on this card, something that I realized looking this up was that enemy muddles me when it attacks me. So Muckduck the Drifter is now confused. These lurkers, by the way, are no longer confused. Okay, then Lurker Mind Snipper 3 wants to make 2 attacks. So we'll move up. It's attacking Muckduck the Drifter. I've drawn the curse. Whoops. And then it is attacking Achilles Tamir the Deathwalker. +0. I guess that hits for 1. And then Achilles Tamir is going to make an attack for 2 on this Wraith. I wonder, can I mark it for death? I don't know. It kind of feels like I can. It does say when that enemy dies. Maybe this attack doesn't belong to my Deathwalker. This is a fascinating, like, in a board gaming group, this would be an interesting thing to talk through. like at the table. Anyway, we're attacking this Wraith. -1. It has 2 shield. We are attacking it for 3, so we don't even make it so we have to use the Bone Shaper. I feel like I'm using the better Strength Rung now, as I'm reading more about turns. All allies within 2 range add +1 attack to one of their attacks each turn. Let me look this up too. Okay, I think I actually am correct on this. How this works is all allies within 2 range add +1 to one of their attacks each turn. So for example, my Wraith takes a turn. It can add +1 to its attack, and then my Bone Shaper takes a turn. It gives my Wraith an attack. It can add 1 damage to its attack because it's now the Bone Shaper's turn. So I'm pretty sure I was not incorrect about that. Anyway, that all being said and done, I have survived this turn. My Drifter had to burn a card, but is still alive, and the enemies have all very nicely arranged themselves in a little ball for me to hit really hard somehow. Probably with Lingering Rot on the Deathwalker. We'll have to work that out. I think the first thing I'm going to do just immediately is my Deathwalker does have to short rest, right? And when I short rest, I don't need the dark for this, so I might as well use the dark for Haunting Dreams. Let's use up darkness, and we will confuse the elite Mind Snipper. Let's actually confuse the elite soldier, and then we will also curse it, of course. Okay, I've gotten this off twice already in this scenario. If you compare that to the like attack modifier deck, it just doesn't feel like the attack modifier deck does very much very often. Losing Forceful Spirits, not a terrible card, but one I am okay with losing, I guess. I don't actually need my Deathwalker to be alive for the last room, I don't think. So, the Forceful Spirits, a lot of the advantage of it is it lets me teleport to the last room faster, but if my Deathwalker is exhausted at the end, that's kind of okay. Yeah, alright, let me work out my cards. The squad's looking pretty lethal this turn. I am a little bit concerned about what happens if the enemies go super early in the turn and give themselves some shields, but hopefully that just doesn't happen. And let's start the round. They're going slow. Alright, cool. The Mind Snippers are attacking and pushing, irritating, and the soldiers are just doing a regular move and attack. I am hoping that a lot of them will be dead before any of that happens. And we're going to start the turn with my Banner Spear, who's going to move 4, actually get into the fight, and use Driving Inspiration. It's an attack for 3 with advantage on this Lurker Soldier who has 1 shield. Unless, would I prefer this Mind Snipper? Yeah, actually, I'll go with this Mind Snipper instead. So, with advantage, a +0 or a crit. Crit, so that's 6 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're done. Next we have a Deathwalker. So I could just use Deepening Despair. The enemies are all ready to die to 1 damage, basically. So, like, Lingering Rot is in no way necessary. I'm gonna play it anyway. It looks sweet. it just looks so strong here. So I'm gonna be losing this card. Perform the attacks as if you were occupying a hex with a shadow, then remove the shadow. And we are attacking for 3 all adjacent enemies. So I'm going to perform the attacks as though I was occupying this hex with this shadow on it. And the first attack I'm going to make is against this Lurker Soldier. And I'm going to begin the attack by marking it for death. Correct? This doesn't say I can only do it once per round or anything like that. Yeah. Let's go for it. Attack +0, it's dead. There are now 5 shadows on the ground. I get to decide where this shadow actually goes. I will put it there. Okay, next attack is on Lurker and Mindsnipper 3. Except, I think actually I'll make it on the Elite Mindsnipper that isn't going to die. And when I do that, I'm going to remove a shadow with Strength of the Abyss. This is the only time I'm allowed to remove a shadow for that. Getting experience for doing it. And we hit this for 5 damage now. -1, so 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it is poisoned. I will mark it for death, but I won't mark it for death. I'm going to immediately mark this one for death now, because now I'm going to attack Lurker Mindsnipper 3. That is enough to kill, and it was marked for death. So that will make another shadow. Put it under this Mindsnipper. And then finally, I am going to attack Lurker Soldier 5 and mark it for death. +0. It has a shield, so only hits for 2, and poisoned. That seemed like a pretty cool action to me. And then, because I'm at so low health, I figure I might as well use this character to tank a bit. Oh, this shadow leaves at the end of resolution of the card as well. I can move up here. All enemies attacking me will have disadvantage because I'm standing on a shadow. That's one of my perks from leveling up. And when I end turn, I will pick up a loot that was underneath that shadow hiding. A coin. Cool. Yeah, that seemed like a pretty good turn. Drifter goes now. This is at 6. I am going to... This is at 7. I would kind of prefer to kill the Mindsnipper over the soldier, but I'm not sure I can really... I don't think I can in any way guarantee that that happens. Maybe I can. I am confused here. So I'm attacking for... I'm likely hitting for -1. Okay, well, we'll go with this attack. This way I don't have to move away from the banner. So it's an attack for 3. +2 is 5. +1 from the banner is 6. +1 from the poison is 7. I am confused, so I'll draw twice. Please no crit miss. Oh, wow. Well, that's just dead. And that will make for me 1 more shadow. And then I'm at 5. But I think what I'm going to do, this is going to push when it attacks. What's its move again? It's attacking at 2 range. It's attacking at 3 range. So if I move up here, it will move back. And then it will attack twice. It will push me here and the Deathwalker there. Then my Wraith can move up to here, be in range of the Banner of Strength, and attack it. Oh, my Wraith moves before it does, actually. It might be dead. It's pretty likely it's going to be dead by then. Okay. I did not expect that. Wow, this this Wave of Anguish, or whatever the hell that card's name is, seems pretty good. So I'm deciding whether I want to move here. And I mean, one of the things I get from that is I get this loot pouch that's underneath the shadow. Or I can just use the bottom half of Prudent Preparation to heal for 2. I think I'd rather just heal for 2. Let's just heal for 2. So I'm going to heal myself, I think. And I will use Amulet of Life as well. We'll go up to 8 health. I'm not using Healing Potion, because I have Prohibitionist. I made a potion and then immediately got Prohibitionist in the next mission, so I didn't get to use it. Somewhat upsetting. Not the biggest deal in the world, though. All right. Bone Shaper, first thing that happens on my Bone Shaper's turn, as usual, is that the Wraith attacks. And it's got the Banner of Strength, and it's got Poison on the enemy. So it's attacking for a base of 3 damage. -2. Oh, somebody missed the memo. That's too bad. This was kind of the moment I wanted that to do well. Okay. Does this have Pierce? It has 4 Pierce. Okay, it has a lot of Pierce. So I could, instead of using the top half of Wrath of the Turned Earth, use the top half of Flow of the Black River to heal for 2 here. The damage from the Wraith is not likely to be much. I mean, it is attacking for 4, so I guess a +2 or a crit is enough to kill. Yeah, I guess we go for it. Do I want to apply poison again? Why not? +0. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lurker Mind Snipper number 1 is on 2 health. And then I have a move for 2. And I get to grant a summon a move for 2. Do I want that? Because now my Wraith is very killable next turn. I think I'm okay with it, yeah. And it's my Bone Shaper's turn. And now the enemy Mind Snipper, it's attacking with -1 damage. It has to shoot at my Deathwalker. It'll be making that attack with disadvantage. Oh, you're no longer muddled, but then you will be again very soon. -1 or -1. Okay, so 2 damage. And we push 2. Boop, boop. And my Deathwalker is now confused. And then the other attack is going to be against my Drifter Muckduck. This one's not with disadvantage. +1. That hits for 4. Ouch. And you're confused again. And you are also over here. And that is the end of round 13. So many rounds. Be interesting trying to get through those traps up there. It was, in theory, the first time that I had a chance to use the shoes that my Bone Shaper has that put a trap onto somebody else. I guess I still have a chance. I could open this room and, you know, I could jump over the trap to open the door and then come back again, let the enemy come toward me, and then I could run over trap number 1. I could use these shoes to put the trap on the enemy. I could use the renewing potion to get the shoes back, and then I could put the other trap on the enemy too. It's convoluted, but these traps hit for 5 damage each, which is like significant enough to feel like it's worth actually setting that up. All right, I've got a plan for myself. Let's go to round 14 first, though. I'm sorry. I made another Bubo. Oh, I didn't make a Bubo. I thought I'd forgotten Relentless again, and I had forgotten Relentless again, but it's not meant to go off because it retaliates at range 2, and I thought it's an attack and my Drifter is only 2 range away, so it will go off, but it pushes my Drifter before my Drifter has a chance to retaliate. Push is actually really good against retaliate because the enemies don't get a chance to retaliate until after you have pushed them, or in this case, my character doesn't get to retaliate until after the enemy has pushed it. I'm going to long rest with my Banner Spear again. I'm certainly not 100% convinced by the choice, but it's what I'm going to do. Start the round. The Lurker Mind Snipper goes... Ooh, it wants to channel Dark for me. That's very kind. I think it will be dead before that happens, unfortunately. My Deathwalker is going to kill it with Fluid Night right now. I will, I guess, use this Shadow. Or let's use this Shadow. Gives me an experience, channels dark, and attacks for enough to kill. And this shadow disappears, but we get to mark it for death and make a new shadow, which I'm going to make there instead. I'm trying not to go overboard with creating too much experience. Like, I could have also consumed one of my shadows to deal... Oh, it's attack with disadvantage. Okay, good. I could have consumed one of the shadows to deal +2 damage, but... I don't know. I think I've mentioned before that I'm not sure how good experience actually is, and I don't want to push one of the characters far ahead of the other characters in terms of experience. Anyway, we got ourselves a clear map. Deathwalker is also going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. Grab some loot. Some lumber, very good. I feel like I need that to build structures. And then, yeah, everybody just gets to move around and heal, pick up loot, stuff like that. Using the bottom half of Vile Assault here, and then the top half of Continuous Health lets me move... Let's move back Relentless. I think it's a bit better than Crushing Weight, because Crushing Weight could potentially not deal damage if I crit miss, or if the enemy has lots of shield. Whereas this one, as long as I get attacked, it will deal damage. And I think I should be able to work out how to get my Drifter attacked. That doesn't seem like a thing that I expect to be that hard. Bone Shaper has a move for 4, and then a heal self for 4. Trying to work out. I might just make a move for 3. It's weird because I have so few move cards, but... Oh, next turn I can... Okay, next turn I can pick up the loot with my Wraith. That's perfect. Make a move for 4 then. And I can use the top half of Fell Remedy, consume Dark, heal myself for 4. Back to 5 out of 6 health, not too bad. Still haven't broken Specialist. Lurker Mindsniper is dead. And my Banner Spear gets a long rest. I am down to 6 cards, but I get to move this forward another 2. And I guess I get to choose which card I'm losing, actually. Cool. Let's lose... Tend to lose at all costs, maybe? The kind of like mode of at all costs is summoning the reinforcement on top of a trap to consume the trap, but I don't think that's a thing I want to do here. Actually, I think the reason to care about at all costs is that 60 initiative can be good for going slow on a turn. Like, it's actually pretty nice to be able to go slow sometimes. So, I guess instead I will be losing... I'll lose Regroup. I'm just going to give up on the banner. I've tried really hard, but I'm thinking about how this is going to go, and I don't think I want it anymore. I mean, it's still going to be on the map, right? And if the boss ends up coming out of the room it's in to fight us out here, then sure, the banner will be great. All right, round 15. I think the longest mission I've had so far has been 17 rounds, so definitely starting to run a little bit low on cards. Remember when I just said I was running low on cards? I just realized that my Drifter has to probably short rest. My Deathwalker, I think I'm going to take a long rest, because I only have 4 cards total left. I meant to kill 2 or more enemies in the same round. Oh my god, I accidentally did that. I accidentally... Oh wow. I did not realize I was trying to do that, but I have accidentally succeeded at it. Banner Spear is meant to kill the last enemy to die in the scenario. Yeah, we did this with Lingering Rot. Okay, cool. That justifies the turn a bit more. I'm going to take a long rest with my Deathwalker. This is a little bit weird. My... I was just talking about how I kind of wanted a low or a high initiative card for my Banner Spear. The reason is I wanted to go after my Bone Shaper this turn. So I am now going to short rest with my Bone Shaper, despite the fact that I have a turn I can play. And it isn't even that bad a turn. We'll lose Transfer of Essence, that's okay. Just because I want to have a way to go before my Banner Spear does. Then I need my Drifter to go before that. This is an entire thing. Oh wow, this is an entire thing. Okay. Good grief. There's actually, this is like a heist. This has a number of steps to it, this plan. Do I have, yeah, I guess losing Prudent Preparation's okay. All right, let's work out what I'm actually doing round 15. Here comes round 15. This is going to be, oh, I'm sorry. Set a new round number. I need my Bone Shaper to go after my Drifter, and I messed it up. We'll use this instead of Continuous Health. All right, so now my Drifter goes before my Bone Shaper. That is what I needed to do. Everything else is good. So first, here we go. Sorry about that. A lot of stuff going on this turn. First, I'm going to move 4 with Deadly Shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. My Drifter is now here. That is my Drifter's turn, and my Drifter is meant to go before my Bone Shaper, but I messed it up. Sorry. Next, my Wraith goes at the start of my Bone Shaper's turn. Oh no, there's loot there. Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, I can't pick that loot up at the moment. I'll work it out somehow. I'm going to use the bottom half of Eternal Torment to grant one of my summons, loot 1, with me gaining all of the loot from the looted tiles. So 1, oh my god, there are 2 there. 2, 3. 3 loot tokens for my Bone Shaper. See what they are. We got a medal, double coin, and another medal. Very cool. Then we have a heal 2, which I'm going to throw onto, I guess, my Drifter. 1, 2. And that is the cards I'm playing this turn. But another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Translocation Rod. During your turn, designate any 2 allies. Each designated figure simultaneously teleports to the hex occupied by the other designated figure. This card is now spent. My Drifter is going back to the store. My Banner Spear is coming here. Bone Shaper's turn is now done. Next is my Banner Spear. And my Banner Spear is going to move 4 with jump. And I'm going to move here. Because I'm jumping, I'm not triggering the trap. And then I'm going to open this door. You know, I never read the thing for opening the previous door. Oh, there are a bunch of traps in there too. Fascinating. It has 56 health. It only has 3 attack though. Fascinating. Oh, but it applies brittle when it attacks. It has 2 retaliate. Well, that's kind of a nasty enemy. Okay, well, let's read a little bit of scenario book, because when I opened the first door, I was meant to read 42-1. I didn't do that. Having dispatched the lurkers out front, you make your way inside the tunnel, a dank burrow riddled with pits of frigid water and stretches of black ice. What's worse than the cold, however, is the smell. An intense putridness emanates from deep within the tunnel, equal parts rot and corrupted flesh. What it could be, you'd honestly rather not know. Oh, I see. We're approaching the corpse. And then when we open door 2, the earthen tunnel eventually gives way to a natural cavern, where you find a half-rotted humanoid corpse shuffling aimlessly around like a lost drunk. The smell is incredible, burning your eyes and your throat. Looking closer, you see a large pink stone lodged in the creature's right eye socket. Another wave of reeking air overwhelms you, and you retch involuntarily. At this sound, the corpse turns and snarls. The frozen corpse is the Carl corpse. It has H times C hit points. I am definitely meant to know what that means. Is immune to immobilize, disarm, and stun, and adds brittle to all of its attacks. Brittle means the next time that enemy takes damage, it takes twice as much damage. Let's see what its move is this turn. The Frozen Corpse, aka the Carl Corpse. It is going to Cold Snap. It will move forward and 1 more speed than usual. It has 2 speed. All right, so we'll move forward 3, 1, 2, 3, and then it will melee attack. I wonder what else it can do. Another thing to consider is, like, if I leave it alone, it will just walk over this trap on its own. That's fine. I'm going to move my Banner Spear here now. It's going to move here. I'm going to start throwing javelins at it and stuff. Seems to be a melee enemy. I've fought it once before. I think it died pretty quickly, though. I don't really remember everything it did. I'm going to use at all costs now as well, which will heal my Bone Shaper for 1, my Deathwalker for 3, my Drifter for 2, and deal 3 damage to me. And that is my Banner Spear's turn. Our new friend, the Frozen Corpse, moves now. Oh, I guess it's worth noting there is a treasure in there. So at some point in this scenario, I would like to get into that room to get that treasure. Frozen Corpse is going to go 1, 2, 3. Is it immune to poison? It sure is surrounded by a lot of traps which apply poison. Just an observation I have. It's going to make a melee attack, which obviously it's not in range to do, and that's the end of the turn. My Deathwalker can take a long rest. So this is around 16. I am down to 3 cards on my Deathwalker, 2 of which I am playing. Yeah, my characters don't have a ton of juice left, but there's just 1 enemy, and I mean, how hard could it be? It only has 56 health. It's going to move and make an attack at 71 initiative, which is unfortunately so slow that my Banner Spear doesn't get to attack it. Unless I walk forward. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. All right, so my basic plan is to get the team back to a point where we can shoot at the enemy. I'm going to use the bottom half of Black Barrage to move all of my shadows 2 hexes. So let's say that one goes to there, this one goes to here. This one will go here, here. We can move this one up to wait, what? No, because yes. Move that one to there. We're like leapfrogging to make it simpler. It's not making it simpler though, is it? And this can go, I guess here is fine. And then I have Fluid Knight, which doesn't do much, does it? I guess I can use it to channel Dark, which gives me another experience. I'm not sure that I wanted to. Okay, it's now my Banner Spear's turn already. So I have used my Boots of Jumping, which means I can't jump over the trap that's in front of me anymore. I could summon a Banner of Hope if I really wanted to. But I think I'm good with not doing that. I might just like pass my turn. I could go back and try to get the banner. Honestly, my Bone Shaper is kind of in the way though. Pass turn? I guess pass turn. Brutal. We're just like waiting for this to get here. Okay, Bannister doesn't do anything. Frozen Corpse. The Frozen Corpse will move 1, 2, and then it will attack, but it can't attack. And now my Bone Shaper goes. The first thing that happens on my Bone Shaper's turn is this Wraith moves. I moved it to that tile, but shouldn't have. I just forgot to put it back again. There is no line of sight between this corner and this corner. Those go through the wall of the doorway. So the closest hex it can attack from is this one or this one. I think it might actually be required to go to the hex that's closer to the enemy, but I'm not certain, like closer by range. It ends up not mattering here anyway, because I can grant one of my summons a move and choose where it moves to. Also, though, I'm going to move 2 with my Bone Shaper and use the Boots of Transference. I'm going to move on top of this trap here. I'm sorry, the game is really, like, I'm going to have to restart the game or my computer or something after this mission because it's starting to, like, catches, and it's doing it more and more. Why can't I move this? Weird. Okay, so there should be a shadow still, but now my Bone Shaper is going to move here. And this hits for 5 and poisons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might be thinking, wait a second, Steven, why didn't it hit you? Well, that's because I have the Boots of Transference. When you spring a trap by entering its hex, you may apply its effects to a figure within 3 range instead of yourself. So those are now used, but I can also use Renewing Potion during your turn, refresh up to 2 of your spent items. And now the Boots of Transference and Translocation Rod are back. Oh, I probably shouldn't have done all that yet because I also want to give my Wraith the move of 2. Then my Wraith can attack. This one does have range to that tile, and it's an attack for +1. I also have poison on the enemy, so we end up hitting for 2 through a shield. It also has a shield. This thing's kind of tanky. Do I have, like, ways to push it around to make it, I don't know if I have any push on the mission. That's Unbreakable Wall, which is one of the pushes that's in my team. I think I lost Javelin quite early on. Yeah, that's one of the pulls that's in my team. That might actually kind of be it. All right. Well, I guess that's that turn. My Deathwalker has to get cards back again. I think I'm going to long rest with Deathwalker again, but we will work that out now. Okay, yeah, round 17. I believe with this round beginning, this is now tied for the longest mission of the campaign so far. I guess I'm not 100% certain, but it feels right. Frozen Corpse is going to move 1. If fire were channeled, it could move 3 and suffer 2 damage. And then after it moves 1, it's going to attack for 1 more damage than usual. I can just make it so it misses, I suppose. Or I can not. Attack for 1 more damage than usual. It doesn't actually hit that hard, right? It's like, this is mostly an exercise in the enemy being kind of awkward. It only has 3 attack, but a lot of its damage is going to be from the Brittle that it has and the Retaliate that it has, I guess. Yeah, so I think my Banner Spear is going to, like, walk up and meet that attack with some tanking. You are the first to move, and we've moved here and we're using Deflecting Maneuver now. It's awkward. I'll be totally honest with you, it's pretty awkward. Because, you have a move? You do have a move, okay, good. Well, I'm attacking for, like, 2, and I'm taking 2 Retaliate, and I have 7 health, and it has 40 something. 49. So it feels like a bad trade. We can give 2 allies within 2 range a move of 2. I'm going to give my Bone Shaper a move of 2 onto this trap here. And then, unless this says during your turn, nope. I'm going to use Boots of Transference to move that onto this again. It's another 5 damage. 2, 3, 4, 5. I do kind of feel like my Bone Shaper is doing all the work here. I do not understand why the poison traps are locked. It's kind of weird. Okay, I could move the Wraith as well if I felt so inclined. But I feel like it's doing okay right there. And then I have a deflecting maneuver. I will make the attack. Oh, it's a crit. Okay, so I was starting as an attack for 3 because of poison, and then with crit, it's now hitting for 6. So 1 shield means 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I take 2 retaliate. And that's all of that. I don't believe the retaliate procs brittle. In fact, I'm close to certain that it doesn't. First thing that happens in my Bone Shaper's turn is the Wraith attacks. +0. So it has 1 shield, but it is also poisoned. It'll take 1 damage. Then I am going to move 4. Somebody's got to open this chest, right? What's it do? Gain a random item blueprint. Very cool. So I want to unlock a random item blueprint. And we've unlocked the Slippery Sword. It requires item 14, 85, and 90. Which ones are those? I have no idea. During your melee attack ability, add +2 damage to 1 attack, and after the ability, get disarmed. Okay. So for a second, we are dealing much more damage, but then immediately afterwards, we are going to be disarmed for the next turn. It's kind of cool. It seems prohibitively difficult to build that. It required 3 items to craft, but admittedly, I didn't look up what those items were, so maybe it's easier than I think. Let's use Decaying Will to hit this frozen corpse. Another crit. Okay. Well, we started at 2 damage, so hits for 4, -1 is 3. It is down to 35 now. It's my Bone Shaper's turn all done. I still haven't used a basic action. Hopefully that will remain true for the rest of the mission. Oh, I guess I can... This had been my plan, actually. Should we do it? I guess so. I'm going to use my translocation rod again as well. So I've gotten double use of Boots of Transference and double use of translocation rod. I'm going to swap my banner spear and my drifter here. And that way, when my drifter's turn happens, my drifter gets to actually make attacks. So first I'm going to use Bloodletting, bottom half of Bloodletting. It's going to attack for 2 more damage, so it will be starting off at 3 plus a poison is 4. I crit. Okay, so I never get to complain about being unlucky again. 4 plus a crit is 8, so that hits for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the enemy's wounded. And I got an experience from advancing Crushing Weight. And I take 2 retaliate. 1, 2. And then I will also use Fortitude. That's the last tick on Crushing Weight. Crushing Weight is done now, but we are attacking for 5 with 2 Pierce. +1 poison is 6. 6 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, I take 2 retaliate. Yeah. That feels not bad at all to me. Frozen Corpse now will move and then make an attack. The attack's for 3 damage. Oh, I guess first it takes a damage from a wound, actually. Attacks for 3 damage. -1 is 2. Drifter takes 2 damage, is brittle, meaning the next time we take damage on Drifter, it'll be doubled. And Drifter can also retaliate. Let's So you take 2 damage back. Okay, I gotta say, that was not that bad a turn. That was actually, like, pretty good. My Deathwalker is going to lose Fluid Night. Wait, I need that one. No, this is okay, I guess. Yeah. My Deathwalker is going to long rest. My Deathwalker gets 1 turn next turn, and is then done. Looks like I'm also going to need to short rest with my Banner Spear and my Drifter, although both of them have 6 cards left, so we still have quite a while before they're exhausted. And my Bone Shaper still has 8 cards, so doing great. Take a short rest with the Banner Spear. Lose at all costs. That's okay. And we will take a short rest with my Drifter. Muck Duck. What's gone? Draining Arrows? That's okay too. Definitely getting into the part of the mission where turns are not hard to plan out. Starting with Deathwalker, who is using their last 2 remaining cards. So I'm going to move all shadows up to 2 hexes. 1, 2... Oh my god, get out of the way. 1, 2... the rest don't matter. With the bottom half of Black Barrage, and then I'm going to use Deepening Despair, which will channel Dark. It will attack this enemy who is adjacent to at least 2 shadows. Do you think being on top of a shadow counts as adjacent? Earlier I said it did. I can make it there instead. I don't actually know. Maybe earlier when I attacked this enemy here, who was standing on a shadow and adjacent to 1 other shadow, it was not allowed. Unclear to me whether standing on top of it is adjacent. It feels from flavor like it should, but it feels from literal reading of the card like it shouldn't. So I don't know which of those takes priority. Anyway, we got a -1 on our attack for 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's poisoned and... oh, only 3 actually. It's poisoned and it has 1 shield. And then my Deathwalker's done. That's it. I am allowed to long rest next round, so my Deathwalker won't be exhausted, but yeah. What is the Frozen Corpse doing, by the way? Just attacking in an area. Okay. It's kind of a big dope, huh? Just kind of stands there and gets killed. We got Fortitude with Muck Duck. Attacking for 4 with the poison. 1, 2, 3, 4. It takes 2 retaliate. I'm now down to 2 health. When I use Vile Assault, I guess I'll like move over here because why not? And then I'll heal 2. Brittle doesn't prevent the heal from happening. It's just removed when the heal happens. Poison is the only like kind of bleed adjacent sort of status, which also stops you from healing when you heal. So that is fine, and that is your turn. Next up is Xenia Zafir. I'm going to grab the loot. I can also move 2 allies to hexes, which is fine, but mostly I just want the loot. I don't know if Xenia Zafir has picked up loot for like the last 2 missions. 1 medal. Congratulations. Maybe it's not the worst. You can use that for some armor or something at some point, probably. Still need a armor item. And then the Frozen Corpse goes, it is on 12 health, down to 11. It's going to move, but it doesn't have to move, and then it's going to attack for +1 damage, so 4 is the base damage. Oh, it crit. Well, I guess I'm burning a card. I think even if I burn a card, it also applies Brittle. Let's burn Continuous Health and call that good. Also, when it does this, it takes 2 retaliate damage. Did a pretty good job with the persistent cards. I feel like I got very good value out of both of them, and I didn't commit to so many that I like exhausted really quickly. I still have cards left over. This mastery where you end a scenario with your character tokens on the last slots of 4 persistent abilities, that's kind of a bait a little bit, I feel like. Do you want to use 4 persistent abilities at all? And then even if you try to, like, can you even pull it off? Round 19, we're going to be long resting with our Deathwalker. We're going to be short resting with our Bone Shaper. Wait, I didn't move my Bone Shaper. I'm sorry. Wraith moves and attacks. +1 damage. So, oh, it doesn't have to move. I was trying to attack my Drifter. +1 damage means 2. And then I was summoning a skeleton. It's kind of a disaster because I shuffled the cards. I can summon the skeleton if I feel so inclined. And I think I do. And then the other one I think was Curse, but it's not in range. Okay. I have fixed that. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit sloppy toward the end of the mission here because I think we have like 30 damage more than we need pretty easily, and possibly even more than that. I still have 7 cards with my Bone Shaper. So I'm just trying to finish things up efficiently. What do you want to do? Ooh, somebody has to loot at the end of it all, I guess. Let's go... Let's do it this way then. Is it better just to have a move 4? It's probably better just to have a move 4. This way, if it's dead, I can move to where it's dead and pick up the loot. That seems better. All right, and if it doesn't die, we'll just get the loot next turn, right? So, round 19, it is moving quickly this time. It's going to immobilize and brittle someone. I need to actually read this card. So it's going to move into melee range and then immobilize and brittle 1 target. Sure, seems fine. Banner Spear can't actually get in range to attack quite, but almost did. Then the Frozen Corpse goes, and my Drifter is now immobilized, which is not of grave consequence to me, I wouldn't say. Oh, it's at 6 health now. Oh, my Banner Spear is meant to get the last kill of the mission. Oh, I forgot entirely. I think that's still doable, but in order to try to achieve that, I'm going to want my Drifter to not make these attacks. So my Drifter just stands still. That's fine. Now my Bone Shaper goes. First thing that happens is the Wraith attacks. I will let the Wraith attack. Oh, it crit. It's only attacking for 2 though. So 4 minus 1 shield. It's for 3. And I'm gonna immediately unsummon the skeleton after paying 2 life for it. Which is about how the skeletons have been doing today, to be honest. It is at 3 health with a wound and a poison on it. My Deathwalker long rests and immediately exhausts. And we start round 20. So how is my Banner Spear going to get this kill? We're going to want to short rest. Is an attack for 2 enough? Do I have piercing somehow? I also have to think about how do I pick the loot up after I kill it? Losing tip of the spear? That feels kind of like... It's very hard to actually activate this. Like, if I could make that attack, it would kill it. But I can't make that attack and loot. I have to make the attack and also loot. So I think because of that, this card isn't actually useful. Combined Effort is going to be the card that I use. I still have that. Okay. So the plan is I move in, I Combined Effort. That's an attack for for exactly lethal, which is a little iffy. Maybe what I do is I do it at 32 initiative. And so this way, I'm letting y'all stick with me. Like, usually this takes like 15 minutes, but here toward the end of the mission, it's pretty quick. This way I can have the Wraith attack first. And if the Wraith crits, it deals 4, or if it rolls a +2, it deals... Yeah. You can't crit or roll a +2. That's a little scary, because it can definitely do that. Shoot. Maybe we just YOLO. Can I heal the enemy? What if I just healed the enemy? I say we just YOLO. My Drifter's gonna long rest. My Bone Shaper is going to play a heal card. And a move card? No, I don't have a move. Oh, if it's dead, the Wraith can move toward my Bone Shaper, and then I can grant a summon a loot. Kinda huge. Okay. I have some sort of plan. My Drifter is long resting. We're starting the round. Frozen Corpse goes between Banner Spear and Bone Shaper. The problem is, if I leave it at 1 health with this attack, it's wounded. So I need to not roll a -1. I could wait another turn. And then I could short rest. It would be on 1 less health. I guess it's worth doing. I guess it's worth doing. Okay. I'm gonna just move here and stand still. Frozen Corpse goes now. It will attack my Banner Spear. +1 damage on its attack of 3. Oh, by the way, it gets wounded. Down to 2 health. So, +1 damage down to 1. And Brittle. Then my Bone Shaper goes. The first thing that happens in my Bone Shaper's turn is this time I unsummon the Wraith. You're always allowed to unsummon if you want. I'm not playing these cards. And then my Drifter takes a long rest, and you can lose that as far as I'm concerned. That seems fine. I didn't really read what it was, but it seems less than necessary right now. Okay. Okay. All right, everybody. So I'm going to short rest with my Banner Spear. And oh, I'm at 1 health. It's actually okay. It's fine. I need to not lose combined effort, so I'm going to reroll this, but I'm at 1 health, so I'm going to lose a card to do it. So I can lose set for the charge instead. And then that's my turn. You can have this turn. You can have this turn. And hopefully the Frozen Corpse is doing not much of anything. Hopefully my Banner Spear gets last kill here. Attack modifier +0. That is plenty. I get 1 experience from using combined effort. The Frozen Corpse dies. On my Bone Shaper's turn, I don't have to do anything. On my Drifter's turn, Muckduck will walk here and pick up the loot. And that is the end of, I would say, a highly successful mission. I opened the chest, I got every combat goal, I got as much loot as was dropped. I got to do some really fun things with my Bone Shaper's cards. And yeah, what else is there to say? That was just a pretty good mission. So I'm going to read the outro for you, and then I will do all of the bookkeeping off camera. We're meant to read this. At the end of that round, read 3.3. Ripping the shard from the corpse's eye, you find the thing to be strangely beautiful. It's slim and hollow, more like a piece of Carl than a stone. And yet, there is a certain weight to it that seems uncanny for something only the size of a dagger handle. You bring it closer, admiring its crags and hollows, but as you do, you feel its weight grow. It presses down on your hand and then into your mind, sinking into you and pulling. The Carlo shard speaks to each of you, not with words, but with desires. It wants to move north, far out to sea, away from the cliffs and the frozen safety of Frosthaven, and it wants you to take it there. This must have been what the lurkers were after, a strange goal for what you thought were beasts no more sophisticated than wolves or spiders. Yet as the chunk of Carl speaks to you, you know it to be true. They sought this object, and in order to understand why, you'll have to follow the pull of the shard north across the water. But Frosthaven's tiny fishing vessels aren't fit for the journey, and you're not about to swim. This leaves you with a choice. You can either keep your feet on dry land, following the shard along the northern coast, or you can build a proper ship and head out into the ice-choked sea. We get 10 experience each, and we gain a Carl Shard campaign sticker. 10 experience. Everybody's going to be leveling up who hadn't already leveled up. That was already the case and is now even more so the case. And a new campaign sticker. Add Carl Shard. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, so I'm going to do all the bookkeeping, and at the start of next episode, we will head back into town, and we'll do the town phase there. But I think this was enough of an episode, and this is a pretty good stopping point. So I'll have a whole bunch of level ups. We'll be talking all about those. We will be doing a lot of like building things probably, because I think I have a lot of resources. Maybe there's not that much I can actually build yet, but, you know, we'll build some stuff. We'll probably brew a lot of potions. I got 3 corpse caps from the road event, actually. So, yeah, I can brew probably like 6 potions or something. And, yeah, then we will continue to pursue Dangerous Game. So I'm not actually going to head out into the frozen northern coast. What I'm instead going to do is head this way, because out here I believe is where the robots are, and that's the next thing that I need to kill. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.